So what do you make for the person who loves cherries? You make this cherry, rum and sultana tray bake. Now, this was originally a cake recipe, and then of course I took it and mucked it up, tweaked it, and now it's become a tray bake. I was worried that it would get too brown, but actually it's perfect. Let me share this beautiful recipe with you. It smells like Christmas. Now, I wouldn't be making this months in advance because there's not enough alcohol for it to preserve. So this would be one that I might make maybe a week to 10 days before Christmas, and then I'd store it in parchment and foil until Christmas Day. Or I'd make it a few days before Christmas, but it just smells wonderful. So let me share this rum, sultana and cherry cake with you now. Earlier this morning when I was awake, I boiled up my rum. So that was 400 grams of sultanas and 100 mils of rum. I boiled it up and then I took it off the heat and I allowed it to cool completely. And I added 400 grams of cherries. Next ingredient, 250 grams of very soft butter. Now you can use a creaming method for this, but you know me, life is too short. So I'm just adding 250 grams of butter and I'm going to microwave that. Into the microwave, I'm going to just cook that down a little bit so that it's very soft and almost melted, but not warm. Into this, I am adding vanilla caster sugar. Do you remember I made that last week? 200 grams of vanilla caster sugar. Okay, that's nicely mixed. Still on my scales. Zero my scales. I'm adding 400 grams. 400 grams of plain flour. And for each of those 100 grams, I'm adding a teaspoon of baking powder. It's a lot of flour, it certainly needs a lot of baking powder. Now I'm just mixing that baking powder through. Now I'm adding my fruit mix. All of that fruit mix in. And because I allow this to cool completely on the hob, there's no liquid left. Do you see that? No liquid left. So all of that goes in, and I'm just going to mix that through. My last ingredient is egg. So you see the flour is coating that fruit nicely. And now I'm going to mix the eggs in. So you want in 4 eggs. 1 egg for a quarter of the recipe is fine. I'm putting them into this because I don't want to lose any of that nice rum flavour. And hopefully with the new camera angle, try to swap my camera angles, hopefully you can still see what I'm doing. Very messily, but this I'm making in a hurry because I'm meeting friends and bringing this with me. So I'm just mixing those, all the rum flavour out of the saucepan basically. That goes in here and they all get mixed together to make sure we don't miss any. Let's see how it goes. Take your time with that mixing. Now, I'm going to add a tiny dollop of rum just to loosen that ever so slightly. Doesn't need too much. Yeah, that's a good texture. So it's kind of like a light Christmas cake. No spices or anything. We're letting the rum, sultanas and cherries speak for themselves. And all of this mix will go into my container. I used a 25 by 30 centimetre tray for this. You could also use a 25 by 35 centimetre tray. It would just be a little bit shallower. Preheat the oven to 160 fan, and this should take between 40 and 50 minutes. Keep an eye on it. So that's my rum, sultana and cherry tray bake. Here we go.